And if that's not enough trash, I think of you.
Wait a minute, Oscar. You just said that thinking of trash reminds you of me.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very nice.
Oh, to a grouch it is.
And that's what happens when Oscar the Grouch declares his love and admiration for his Sesame Street pal, Maria. After 44 years living on one of TV's most beloved neighborhoods, Maria's calling it quits, or rather, the woman who brought her to life is. Sonia Manzano has won 15 Emmys and the hearts of millions of viewers. Next month, her memoir, Becoming Maria, hits the shelves. Sonia joins us this morning from New York. So good to see you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Were you reminiscing when you saw that clip with Oscar professing his undying love?
Absolutely, but I'll tell you something. I left the show because how long can a girl wait for Oscar the Grouch to propose?
Exactly.
He never made good on any of those promises.
He didn't, did he? That's so true. You know, I have to say, Sonia, there's so many memories, and you've really influenced the childhoods of so many right across the world. But I always wanted to know where Sonia ended and Maria began.
They are one person. I always say that Maria is Sonia on purpose. When I got on the show, I wanted to know what Maria should be like, and I asked the producers what this character Maria should be doing and how she should react to things, and they kept saying, we want you to be just exactly as you are. We want the kids in the inner city to have someone to relate to. We want the Latino kids watching the show to recognize themselves in you. Therefore, you just have to be yourself. And I think that's a tough job for an actor. It's easier for us to become other people. But that's what the show wanted. They wanted real people at that time, and that's what we delivered.
And you touch on a lot of that in your book, and by that I mean your childhood and growing up. Was television, Sonia, a way of escape for you?
Absolutely. I was born and raised in the Bronx and in a Puerto Rican community, and I watched a lot of television. Now, this is a hard idea for me to get across to people, but in 1969, when Sesame Street was first aired, and all through my childhood in the 50s, there were no people of color on television. So imagine yourselves watching this tube all day and seeing people that have absolutely nothing to do with your life. I loved shows like Father Knows Best and Leave It to Beaver. And as I watched all of these television shows, I wondered where I was going to fit in to this society that didn't seem to see me. Still, I found comfort on television. I thought it explained the world to me. Can you believe that? I think that's why I became Maria on Sesame Street, or why I'm good at being Maria on Sesame Street. I always remembered myself watching television and being given some good information and some not so hot information. And all of that I reveal in my book.
Sesame Street tackled some tough situations and explained to kids in a way that they could understand. And this, I'm thinking about Will Lee's death, who played Mr. Hooper, and how that was handled on the show.
Yes, that was terrific. We had a wonderful producer at the time, Dulcie Singer, and she really stuck to her guns. And she said, you know, if we're going to show children real life, I mean, you know, that in amounts that they could understand, why not show them death? Death is a part of life, and it's not good or bad. It's just a part of it. So that was a very moving show, the Goodbye Mr. Hooper segment when Will Lee died, and I was most proud to be part of the organization at that time. I have to tell you that the other great moment on the show recently was when the Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor came on the show. We always say she's the other Sonia from the Bronx, and I was able to write the item that she was featured in.
Winning so many Emmys for the amazing writing that you did on the show. You know, the who's who of Hollywood, you just mentioned, of course, Sonia Manzano, but the who's who of Hollywood, of politics, of song, of dance has been on the show. What was it like? Because I know you've mentioned Stevie Wonder, Tony Bennett's been on, Lena Horne was amazing.
Yes.
When she sang It's Not Easy Being Green with Kermit.
Yes.
That was a moment.
That was a remarkable moment. I wasn't a writer at the show at that time, and I was kind of still a newbie. Not a newbie, maybe I was on the show for 5 years, but you know, Sesame Street lasts so long, you're a newbie for a long time.
Yeah.
And I remember I walked into the studio, and there's Lena Horne, and she's singing this touching song. And you know, I said to myself, is this song about what I think it's about? I mean, it's very profound about being comfortable in your own skin. And I thought that was a very profound moment on the show that kids will watch and some will take away. It's just Kermit feeling insecure, but other kids will take away something deeper.
What does it feel like, Sonia, as I glance at the little girl on this cover of your book, Becoming Maria? We mentioned it's coming out in August. What does it feel like that this little girl with the long braids, the ponytails, turned into a woman that would affect so many other little girls and boys across the world so profoundly?
Well, it's been remarkable. I have to clear up, though, that little girl on the cover is not me. She's just evocative of me.
Oh,
but
no.
There's pictures of me there's pictures of me inside that people might enjoy watching. But I always say that if you had told me when I was a kid that I was going to grow up and be on television or be something other than a secretary, which was my biggest dream, I would have told you to commit yourself to the nearest insane asylum. As I said, there were no people of color on television. We watched Mexican movies is where we saw Latin people in the media, and it wouldn't have, I never would have occurred that it could have happened to me. I think that a lot of people, and what I talk about in my book, a lot of people think that you overcome difficult childhoods to do something, to succeed. And I don't think I overcame my childhood so much as I used my childhood and I embraced my childhood. I think because of my childhood, I'm the perfect Maria in a way, because I never forgot my childhood when I became Maria. And I guess I kind of soothed myself through television as I wished somebody had soothed me. So to say that every life is worthwhile, even the difficult one that I led as a child.
You're a gift, Sonia. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for all of the years.
Thank you.
And you're just such a bright light. What a pleasure to chat with you.
Thank you very much, Marcy.